Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. Last time we left off, it was the Atlantic Raiders meet its doom. But now, we are at the British Navy engages Italian fleet at Matapan. Just making sure that was the right page, because these pages sometimes stick. March 28, 1941. Italy's crushing defeat. On March 28th, reconnaissance planes reported the presence of an Italian battleship, Vittorio Veneto. Veneto? Yeah, that sounds right. With 8 cruisers and 9 destroyers off Sicily. The Mediterranean fleet immediately put to sea and joined action. During the day and night long engagement, 3 of the Italians' heaviest cruisers, the Pola, the Fiume, and the Zara, as well as 2 large destroyers, were sunk. The pictures above show aspects of the first stage of the battle. Top, HM destroyer Hasty steaming past enemy shells, bursting near her. Center, destroyers laying a smoke screen to protect British ships from the fire of the Italian battleship, Vittorio Veneto, which was later damaged. Bottom, HMS Gloucester laying a smoke screen. Look at that. That ship's just like, burn. That's why it's called the Hasty. That thing is fast. But yeah, obviously you can see the Italian. I mean, that one's just way off. These ones at least they were shooting at it, but were just off by a little bit. And then here we see from the ships right here, putting down a smoke screen to protect the British ships from obviously, like it said, protect them from any Italian fire. And then here we see the HMS Gloucester also laying a smoke screen. Italian survivors of Matapan await rescue. March 29th, 1941. Germans bomb Italian sailors. It was estimated that 3,000 Italian officers and men, including an admiral, perished in the Matapan engagement. British ships picked up more than 900 survivors, as well as 35 German naval officers and men, and the number of men so rescued would have been much larger had not German dive bombing attacks compelled the rescue worker to be abandoned. Admiral Cunningham, the British commander, then signaled the position of the unrescued Italians to their own authorities so that a capital ship could be sent, or hospital ship could be sent. The picture above shows 3 rafts with Italian sailors waiting to be rescued. Yeah, and this would happen quite often. Sometimes it was seen as maybe there really weren't dive bombers and they were just saying that so they didn't have to rescue those guys. Sometimes it really was the case. But if he said he signaled a hospital ship, then more than likely he really meant it. Hopefully those men were rescued. The Mediterranean can be kind of unforgiving, to say the least. But yeah, we see those Italian sailors. And yeah, like I said, there were quite a few rescued, but hopefully more were. How the Germans tried to strangle Britain's Lifeline. March to April 1941. Battle of the Atlantic. Funny Mustache Man's boast with the coming spring, German U-boats and aerial war against Britain convoys in the Atlantic would be intensified was no idle one. In March and April, British and Allied losses rose to 489,229 tons, respectively, representing in all 225 ships. In spite of all of the enemy could do, however, Britain's lifeline, although stretched, remained unbroken due to the efforts of the British fleet and the RAF. The map shows the routes taken by the convoys from America and Canada and measures taken to outwit enemy submarines and long-range bombers. Now, see, it shows all this, but first off, this map is something else, but it does show the coast of the United States. There's Maine where it ends, and here's Canada, and we see New York, line from there, Halifax. There's one further in here from, looks like almost Quebec and Montreal, that area. And then they would this line would go up through here, and there'd be a line from here to Greenland. Then potentially flown around and drop down. But yeah, you can see all the lines going to Britain here. And there were some from even the southern end and all that. And the German bombers were probably doing their best, because this is their sphere of influence. So they're doing their best to stop anything reaching the tiny little island. But yeah, the Germans would do their best to try to stop it, but they wouldn't ever stop that lifeline. Thankfully for the Brits, at least. The Brits were thankful that they weren't able to do that. I was just looking at something, sorry. Men who go down to the sea in ships. March to April 1941. Heroes of the Battle of the Atlantic. As Funny Mustache Man had threatened, no German efforts to cut Britain's lifeline reached their climax in the spring. In spite of heavy losses from U-boats and surface raiders, food and munitions still poured into Britain. The pictures show top, fast motor launches guarding a convoy as it steams down the English Channel. Below, the lookout of a destroyer scans the sea for possible enemy submarines. So here we see these boats in the English Channel. Yeah, either outspeed or outwit the enemy would be the idea. Try to stop them from cutting off your lifelines, because if Britain would have lost these lifelines, they would have lost. They weren't producing enough domestic food to survive. So, and here we see that destroyer, the lookouts, making sure that there's no enemy submarines nearby, because if there is one, they could potentially be in some serious danger. A German sea raider sets out from home base, March to April 1941. Men who command the U-boats. The British announced that in May that, although many U-boats had been destroyed, leaving no survivors, about 500 officers and men from sunken submarines had been made prisoners. Among them was Commander Otto Kretschmer, U-boat ace, decorated by Funny Mustache Man in August 1940. Another noted commander, Captain Shepke, went down with his U-boat in mid-April. The picture above shows Captain Schutz, another known German hero, saying farewell before leaving for a raiding cruise. Yeah, the British would try to capture as many of these men as possible, but many of these men would obviously go down with their ship because it would be seen as dishonorable if they survived. But sometimes it would happen because either one, they were unwillingly saved, so there are cases where the ship would shoot them back up. But also, some men just didn't want to die, which is pretty understandable. One second here. The British occupy the capital of Etruria, April 1st, 1941. The Fall of Asmara. On April 1st, British forces advancing after their victory at Cairo accepted the surrender of Asmara, capital of Italy's oldest colony, a city of 100,000 persons. It had been declared an open town by the Italians, and the defending force withdrew to new positions to the south of the city. The upper picture shows Imperial troops and Bren gun carriers marching through the city. Below, some of the Indian troops who had played such a great and gallant part in the advance are seen entering the town. So here we see those Bren gun carriers. Yeah, and once again, glad that they're pointing out the Indian troops, which are here. Yeah, they did a good job attacking this city, and basically are one of the main reasons that it's even taken. A lot of in Africa, the Indian troops do a great job. British and Free French leaders meet in Cairo, April 1941. Allied leaders in the Middle East. The resumption of activity in Libya, brought about by German reinforcements, created a difficult situation. For the Middle Eastern Command. For the Middle Eastern Command. 4. The expected attack on Greece made it imperative that troops should be withdrawn from the African front. As a result, British and Free French commanders met in Cairo to discuss the situation. Above, they are in conversation, left to right, General Cattreau, General Wavell, General de Gaulle, General Spears, and Air Marshal Longmire. So, we'll try to point all these out, left to right. So here, I guess it says left or right, but where is it starting from? I'm going to say this is General Cattreau, General Wavell, General de Gaulle, General Spears, and Air Marshal Longmire. So these are all these men. Obviously, this guy's got his back turned to us, but it's nice to see all these leaders here talking it out what their next move would be. All right, that's going to do it for this video. If you guys liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. Tell me what I can improve on. I always appreciate your feedback. Thank you.